Traditionally, Greg Anderson's always been the first guest here the last few years. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Not too bad. I've been inside, so what's the rain like out there?
It's a steady rain.
Steady rain?
No fog really, but it's
Oh, okay.
not that I saw. So
We could use a little rain. Things have gotten awfully dry.
oh, we can use it. You bet.
You're at the Fulton Meat Market, of course. Do you get a lot of farmers come in? Do you visit with them much, or how's that go?
Well, we don't have a few in that area. We don't buy any cattle from farmers, but we have everybody comes in.
Where do you get your meat from?
What we do, we don't buy from the packers, of course, because we're just one store. So we buy from wholesalers or middlemen, whatever you want to call them. But our beef, it could be anywhere from XL to National to Aurora. It's box beef. Our pork is box. Usually that's either IBP or Seaboards, different brands.
Do you have salesmen who come in outside of Robert, of course, here from KROS?
Oh yeah. We get visited probably once a day from somebody.
Hey, we need to get your Super Bowl pick. We're going to get this from every one of the folks who come in today.
Okay.
Should be a pretty good ball game. Kansas City and Philadelphia. They met in the Super Bowl not long ago. Of course, the Chiefs are trying to make it 3 straight. So you got a preference?
Philadelphia.
Going to go with Philadelphia.
Yes.
Okay. Going against Patrick Mahomes?
Yes. I don't know. I think Kansas, Eagles, so they have,
Saquon Barkley. What a big
and then
addition.
They got Jalen Hurts. It's going to be a good game. You're
Plus,
right.
they got that defensive back from the University of Iowa, Cooper DeJean.
Yes.
Who's done a really nice job into their defensive role.
Didn't they say he was the only Hawkeye that was going to be in the...
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
There were some other ones, but their teams went to the wayside. But it is amazing how many Iowa players do go on to the NFL.
Oh, they got a lot, don't they?
Yeah. A lot of tight ends, a lot of offensive linemen. What are you looking for, Greg? Did you get a phone call there or what?
Yes, well, I'll tell you what. It's a little embarrassing. My phone is hooked up to my hearing aids.
Oh, okay.
So my ears are shot now.
Yeah.
And so when I get a text, I hear that and I can't hear you. So I apologize for that.
That's
We're
okay.
back on point now.
Okay, there you go. I've never been in television, but I know when those people are doing the broadcasts that they have their producer talking to them in their ear. And I could not for the life of me understand how they would be able to do something like that. Concentrate on what you're supposed to be broadcasting and listening to what they have to say.
And listening to what they're saying. Well, I think them NFL teams, the quarterbacks, don't they have some sort of headset in their helmet? And
yeah.
So, you probably thought Robert was giving me some pointers or something.
There you go. So when did you get those? I mean, that's got to be kind of interesting to have something like that.
I got them in October of last year.
Okay.
So.
Because normally we work the Irish dinner auction together.
Right.
And we did that last spring.
Yes.
And I noticed that you were kind of listening a little bit closer to what people had to say.
Yeah, I can't hear out of one ear and the other ear is sort of bad, and I've had bad hearing most of my life. So it was time. I had a little chiding from my wife Christy on it, and so. But no, it's a lot better. You can hear. I can hear better. So
I would imagine so. That's got to be a big improvement.
It is a big improvement. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I think I finally hear some birds every once in a while.
There you go. Again, visiting with Greg Anderson, the Fulton Meat Market over there in Fulton, 211 11th Avenue. You were telling me it's been 8 years now. Talk about that step again to become the owner of Fulton Meat Market.
Well, I started there in June of 2001, so I've been working there 15, 16 years, and the previous owner, Tom Moss, had it, and he wanted to, retire, and he kept talking about, finding somebody to take over, and, it was me, and I hem-hawed about it, and finally said yes, and I think that was September of 2017, and it's been, 8 years? So, yeah.
So when you did take over,
yes.
Were there many changes that you wanted to implement, or were you pretty satisfied with the way Tom was doing things?
I was pretty satisfied. Right off the bat, there wasn't really no changes. The only big change is, when you first, take over something like that, you got to get the licenses, you got to get the health department, you got to get everything in your name and, everything, and they have to come over and, the inspectors, you have to get a new license number and stuff like that. That was the only big change, the EBT and SNAP, you have to change over. A lot of them things we had to change over. That was the biggest thing to start.
Yeah, I would imagine, in your business, you are dealing quite a bit with agencies, people who are coming in, health inspectors, different things like that.
Oh, yeah. We get visited by the state of Illinois inspectors probably 3 times a week. Whiteside County Health Department, they come over. I think they hit us 2-3 times a year. And just the other day we had the weights and measures from the Illinois Agriculture. They got to come over and make sure our scales are, accurate and in compliance. So
make sure you're not putting your thumb on that scale.
Yeah. Don't put your thumb on there, no.
No, you would never do anything like
no.
that. Not at all. So how did you end up becoming a butcher? Do I call you a butcher? Is that the name, or what is it? What do you guys like to? What do you like to be called?
I think we'd like to be called meat cutters.
Meat cutters. Okay.
Butchers are sort of
meat
aggressive, but
yeah. Okay. All righty.
Actually, I started that back. You remember Food Bonanza, Econo Foods in Fulton? I started there. Well, I started there as on their courtesy counter, getting cans and bottles, and then I went to the meat department. Was a meat wrapper. Then they had an opening for a meat cutter, an apprentice. So I just learned on the job there.
So learned on the job.
Yes, that was on the job training.
Is there a school for meat cutters?
I think there's probably a variety of schools. I know my meat cutter over at the market, Aaron Vanderide, he went to school, I think in Madison, and I don't know, I think it's still going on. But yeah, there are schools, yes.
So, what do you learn? The various cuts of meat, how to cut the...
Oh, as a meat wrapper, that was very beneficial for me. I knew some of the cuts, but most of the cuts I didn't. You're just sort of looking at it going, huh, what's that? So yeah, you learn the cuts of meat, and then when you're a meat cutter, you learn, the primals and what comes out of what, and... Steaks are, from the rib section, and you got the, T-bones come from the short loin, and the round steaks or the round comes from the, rump area. So yeah, you learn a lot. So.
I've got a brother who likes to smoke pigs.
Right.
And every once in a while I get to help out, pull the meat off of the pig, and I was amazed the different tastes of the pork at various, like the ham and different things like that. Is that similar to beef, or is beef all pretty much tastes about the same?
Beef, I shouldn't say beef tastes the same. You got a fillet, and they're going to be they're going to be a lot leaner. They're going to be tender because that muscle doesn't get no work. Season it good, because sometimes they say the flavor isn't there because there's no fat. Now you got a ribeye that's got a little more fat. So, and more flavor. So, it tastes the same, but you cook it a little different, and some parts have a little more fat. You get a round steak, there's hardly any fat on that. So you want to season it and braise it and so forth. So, there's different cooking techniques and all that for what you get.
Interesting. Do you get folks who sometimes ask you about a cooking tip when you're in there?
Oh yeah, we get a lot, and I'll have to say, I got my girls in there that are good cooks, and people come in and say, how do you cook that stuffed chop, or do you put water or chicken broth? And if I don't know, I got my girls going, hey, this is how I do it. So,
There you go. Again, visiting with Greg Anderson. Coming up will be a break for the weather.
Awesome Car Wash in Clinton has everything to meet your car wash needs. They have 6 self-serve wash bays to minimize wait times, a touchless automatic open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and a tunnel wash open daily from 7:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Awesome Car Wash is located across from Purina on Manufacturing Drive in Clinton. Stop in, check them out, and see why customers are saying,
"It's awesome, baby!"
It is Citizens First Bank Swish for Make-A-Wish.
For every 3-point basket during a River King or River Queen broadcast here on KROS, Citizens First Bank will donate $3 to the local Make-A-Wish Foundation. Follow the River Kings and Queens on KROS and listen for the Citizens First Bank swish for Make-A-Wish. And you will know that $3 more is going to a very worthy effort. Citizens First Bank of Clinton and Comanche, member FDIC.
It's time now on KROS for the Storm Track 8 weather forecasts, brought to you by Midas.
A weather impact alert continues for this morning. Dense fog and some heavy downpours will be likely. Then drying out for the afternoon and skies clearing. We'll see highs in the mid-40s today. For tonight, skies go mostly clear again and lows will drop to the chilly mid-20s. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Currently we have rain, a temperature of 38 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast at 15 miles per hour. This weather report on KROS has been brought to you by Midas.
Trust the Midas touch. Trust the Clinton Midas at 1432 Lincoln Way. Now is not the time to be on the road with a vehicle you can't count on. See the Clinton Midas for general maintenance and, of course, for brakes, mufflers, batteries, windshield wipers, and a great selection of tires no matter what vehicle you hit the road with. Come to the Clinton Midas, 1432 Lincoln Way. You can trust the Midas touch at the Clinton Midas with the Golden Guarantee. Enjoy that delicious and distinctive taste of Gino's Pizza of Preston, either in their spacious restaurant or call ahead for carryout with their convenient drive-up window. Either way, your family will enjoy Gino's Pizza. Gino's thoughts have always been to give the family a comfortable place to have a good time, good service, and great pizza at a fair price. Open Tuesday through Sunday at 5 p.m. For reservations for parties of 10 or better or for carryout, phone 563-689-5541. Gino's Pizza of Preston. Kicking off our Men's Day with Greg Anderson of the Fulton Meat Market, 211 11th Avenue over there in Fulton. You're open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5:30, closed on Sundays, of course. Let's talk a little bit about the catering business. When did you start doing that, Greg?
I think Tom started that. Well, you know, when he bought that, he was always doing some catering. I think he started that right off the bat. And I think it was early 90s, and then they added on and put in a kitchen. So they've been doing, you know, weddings and parties for 40 years, I would say. So.
How busy do you keep with that catering business?
Right now it's slow, but we have quite a few weddings and events on the books for this year. So we don't know, you know, you know, our month might, like June, might be open, and then in 2 weeks it's going to be full probably. So
do you or your wife, who handles the catering? If somebody comes in, they need a wedding catered, I would imagine you sit down with them, go over what you all have to offer.
Right.
Talk about that process.
Well, we offer a cold buffet, which is lunch meat, hot buffet, or a sandwich buffet. And we have a menu and with options. So they'll come in and they'll either ask for me, or I have Jennifer in the kitchen. She does helps me with the catering. Then they'll set it up. We'll talk to them, get the head count, see what they want for food, see where their event's at, what time they want to eat. Then about 3-4 weeks before they have their event, then we'd like to have a head count and their menu. And then we'll get that ready, usually on a Saturday. Me and Jen will get that cooked. And that night, if we go to Eagle Point or wherever, it's usually me and Jen, or if she can't make it, then I'll take Christy. So, and we'll go there, we'll set it up, we'll stay, because we might have to change out some food pans. And then after they get done eating, if there's leftovers, they get to keep them, and we'll put them in the van and get out of there so they can dance. And then we'll do small ones too. You know, we try to, if we go someplace, we'd like to have, you know, at least 7,500 people. We'll do smaller ones, but usually we'd like to have them pick it up, or I'll just drop it off in some disposables and all that. But all they have to do is call, and we'll help them out as much as we can.
Well, that's interesting, and I would imagine, you know, that'll occupy some of your weekends. You're doing most of the catering work this Saturday.
Yeah, you know, there's Saturdays where, you know, I would go in about 5 or 6, get the ribs and chickens prepared for the cookout. Then we'll have our cookout, and we'll have to break down and then get ready for the wedding and or whatever party we have. And there's nights I don't get home 9 to 10 o'clock on Saturdays, so.
No wonder you take Sundays off.
I'm there on Sundays.
Yeah.
We're not open.
You're
but,
there on Sundays.
well,
okay.
I'm there to check the temperatures of the coolers and freezers, and if there's a little paperwork, I do that. I try not to be there long, but I'm in there usually.
And I noticed last year you came in and your hands were kind of filthy, but they're clean, so evidently not much maintenance had to be done today.
Well, I tell you, we used to use liquid smoke, but now I'm using natural pellets. Got a tube in there, so we're using natural smoke. So I'm not really messing with that anymore. So, yeah, my hands are pretty clean this morning.
Looks pretty good. We're visiting with Greg Anderson. He had a song that he wanted to play, but we didn't have that song. But we're kind of backing it up with another one. So why don't you go ahead and introduce that?
Hey, we'll do Blue Eyes. Oh, no, Blue Skies,
Blue Skies.
by Willie Nelson.
You've got something planned for the big game. Tell us about it.
Yeah, what we're going to do Saturday, February 8th, we're going to cook our baby back pork ribs. I think we did have on the radio that we'd like to have the pre-bookings in by Monday the 3rd. Well, that's coming up. What we're going to do, I can get about 60 ribs in the smokehouse, so we'll take orders as far as I can and just call in at the market and we'll say yes or no. Right now, I think we got close to 20 sold, so.
Oh, okay.
We'll get that 60 done. Just call in, and we'll take them until we can't take them no more.
Okay, and then they'll pick that up on...
They can pick them up Saturday, February 8th.
Okay.
They're in foil, then all they have to do is just reheat them in the oven or however they want to do it Sunday, and they're set.
Okay.
So.
And then, while they're in there, I mean, you offer other things, right? Like macaroni salads and different things like that?
We have I always say if you haven't been in the store, come on in. I don't care if you buy anything. Just walk around and take a peek. You'll be surprised at what we offer. Salads, we have a nice seafood selection. We just got, we were having a hard time getting Kramer salsa in. We got a nice full selection of salsas. I think pizzas and all that. So, yeah, come on in.
And Sweetheart Bakery, you got the buns.
We've been providing the buns from Sweetheart for years. And that's always a good hit.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And then after the big game, of course, everybody's getting ready for Valentine's Day, and you got something special for that as well.
Yeah, every year we try to do the Sweetheart ribeyes, and what that is, basically, it's a ribeye shaped as a heart, and usually two people it's dinner for two. So we'll have that week Valentine's Day. So.
All right, very good. And boy, it won't be long. You tell me you're going to have your cookouts back.
Saturday, April 5th is the first one. And we'll have them every Saturday throughout the summer. I think our last one this year will be Saturday, October 18th. We will not have one Saturday, July 5th. We're going to be closed since the 4th is on a Friday.
Okay.
We're going to close Saturday. We might throw in a cookout maybe Thursday the 3rd, I don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We've done them every once in a while. I have a midweek cookout, and they don't go too bad. So
I tell you what, those cookouts are fabulous. Marion always I like to get the half chicken.
Right, yeah, you've gotten them before. Yes, yeah. Every week we usually try to do about 30 half chickens and 30 racks of ribs. I do them inside in our smokehouse, and that's about the limit of what I can get them in there. And people, say, why don't you, do more? Well, I go in, I put them in about 6. They're done about 10:30. So if I go ahead and do another batch, they wouldn't get done in time. So.
And the cookouts are so popular, and I would imagine when we do get to March, people are going to be asking you, hey, when's the cookout start?
I've had people already ask. We've had a couple nice Saturdays. You cooking out?
Oh, yeah.
I said, no.
Yeah. And Dutch Days, how big is Dutch Days for you?
Dutch Days is a very, for us outside, we go through a lot of sandwiches that Saturday. Inside, we get a lot of traffic too. Not a lot of people do heavy shopping that day because they don't want to lug around everything, but we do sell a lot of sandwiches.
And it seems like downtown Fulton's doing pretty well. I mean, you got some new restaurants, some various new businesses. Looks good.
I tell you what, it's a nice community. They do. If you're looking for something to eat, they got a lot of restaurants down there. They got a lot of nice shops. The Fulton Fun Crew's doing a great job getting events throughout the year over there. So, yeah, it's It's really good.
Greg, as always, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
The food ads that are impacting you most are not the ones you'd expect. I'm Cooper Lawrence, health and wellness expert, and this is All Well and Good. Ever watch TV and an ad comes on for junk